Perfect. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Art Mama Grande, and we just got the news that we won't be returning to school this year. It's been put on a indefinite note. It was just on the news today. So while we're waiting for, I guess, feedback from our school and from our division and all of that kind of stuff, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will still be here for you guys. If you need any help, that's why I'm here. And I thought, you know what, like, even though it's spring break, it would be really great if we could do a little, I guess, how to save you some money demo, because I know that's something that artists usually struggle with. Okay, so I have my bright light on here so that you can see what we're going to be doing. So right here I have, it's just a frame. It's a stretcher frame. That's what these are called. Usually you can get them either pre-stretched or pre-gessoed. When I was in school, I made friends with a carpenter, and he made all my stretchers for like 2-3 years. An example of a canvas that is stretched. Okay, so this is a digital painting that I did a couple years ago. And as you can see in the back, it's been stretched and then stapled together. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to stretch a canvas. We're going to talk about how to make your dollar last a little bit longer. And we're going to talk about how to, I guess, kind of save you some money. Because if you've already spent the money, why do you have to spend it again? Okay, so I'm going to grab my stapler. Okay, so this is my staple gun. It is totally like hand operated. There's no electricity or anything, nothing to plug in, and you just buy like a big package of staples. And I think I bought this and the original pack of staples 3 or 4 years ago, and I've only gone through, I think, about half of it. So it does last a long time. So this one I got from Rona. It was fairly inexpensive. This I got a few years ago. This was actually donated to me from a friend of mine who stopped making art. I guess she's still doing art, but she's not doing traditional art. She's decided that she's going to focus on aesthetics and makeup. So she got rid of a whole bunch of art supplies and she gave it all to me. So that's fantastic. So she gave me this. It is a canvas stretcher, and it kind of is just there to help you if you don't have like the grip with your hands. I've actually never used one of these before, so we're going to try it and see how it goes. This is like my first time using it. Usually I just use my hands. And like I said, we've got my frame. Now, basically what I do with these is if I want to reuse the frame and I'm done with the canvas, I try to cut it at the back along here, usually with an X-Acto knife of something. Or some sort, and I kind of just try to cut a nice like flat line so that if I do sell that piece, they can frame it and it's still usable. If you cut it on the front, usually what happens is you end up losing part of your picture, which you don't want to do. Okay, and if you hear anyone yelling in the background or barking, that is my family, so I apologize. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have an equal amount of fabric all around the sides. Now, some of you might notice that this is not canvas. This is actually leftover sheets from my sister's bed. So she had been, I guess, painting her nails on her bed, and she spilt nail polish on it, and they were beautiful white linen sheets, and I was like, oh, what a waste. Like, I could definitely use that for something. So I decided that I was going to use it to paint on, and I made a painting last year with it. It was actually really pleasant because linen, if you know about the material, it's a nice strong material. It's very sturdy, but it's very thin. It's very delicate. And that is my phone telling me I have an email. We're turning that off right now. Okay. Make sure that our canvas has enough space all the way around. I try to make this really last, so I'm going to only cut what I need. Okay, and like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine definitely isn't. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and staple 4 corners equally apart so that we kind of have it centered and it's like stable. So we're going to take our staple gun and we're going to just kind of fold the material over. And actually first we're going to check to see if we have staples, which we don't. So we're going to get some staples. Okay, and this is what happens when you're not organized before you start to do a video. Okay, you're going to take your staples, stick them in there, and then push this all the way in, like so. Okay. Now, sometimes it does a false start. There we go, that's much better actually. So we're going to take that, and we're just going to put a staple in there. See? Okay, and then you're going to do the opposite side. I'm going to push that in. And you don't want to pull too tight because you don't want to warp your fabric. Now you're going to take this bottom end here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull it tight. Staple. Same thing here. You're going to pull. There we go. And we're going to staple. And then we kind of just do the same thing over and over again. So you keep stretching it. You do one corner, then you do the opposite corner, right? So if I do this corner first, I'm going to do this corner next. If I do this corner, I'm going to do this corner next. Does that make sense? And I'm going to keep kind of doing that. So I'm going to keep plugging along, okay? Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts, right? Now the only thing is that we want to make sure is that our corners are tucked in nice and that it's pretty tight like a drum, because we don't want it to be too tight, because when you apply gesso to it, that does actually make it tighten a little bit more, and that can actually make your wood stretcher bow, which we don't want, because then you get like that wonky diagonal thing where it like won't lie flat on a wall, which is like never fun. There's a couple ways to do your corners, so I'm going to show you I guess the ones that I do. So one thing that I like to do is first you make sure that this is all tight. I'm not going to do the corners just yet, but just a couple of techniques that I like. So I try to pull one side as flat as I can, like so, and then I take the other side and I kind of just fold that corner in. Right, now you can either lay it flat along the side there, which, you know, looks nice. Yeah, so that's what it looks like from the top. So that's a like nice tucked in corner, okay? Now, the only thing with that is that sometimes it puckers on the side. If you don't like that, then there's ways to, you know, keep that really tight. That is to hold down instead of back. So pull down instead of back. And then some people actually prefer to do a technique like that, where they tuck their corners in like this. Right? I actually don't like this one, but I have seen it before. And then also, some people just don't care, and they just try to get it tucked in as best they can. And they do something like that. Right? Which is fine too. I personally kind of like the flap, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish tightening this one, and then we'll be back. So, as you can see, I haven't really used the pliers at all. Linen is thin enough that I didn't think I needed to. If you pull it too hard, you can actually break linen, which you don't want to do. It is strong, but it's not as strong as canvas. So what we're going to do is just do our corners, and then I will try this out another day. I have hurt my hand before because it's fabric, right? You pull, it actually can injure your hand, but I didn't need to, so that's good. So the first thing we're going to do is do our corner. So we're going to tuck this corner in. That's a nice corner. Right. And then I'm just going to stapler. And I'm going to trim this extra stuff here once I do all my corners. Anyway, so we've got all this extra stuff. Now this is probably the most waste I'll have from this. I really try to be as, you know, I guess aware and as green as possible about the materials that I'm using, which is why I love like reusing old bed sheets for stuff like this. So there you have it. You have a finished stretched canvas, and it's so like look how thin this linen is. Like it's so thin you can see right through it, which is like so nice. Now when I gesso it, I'm actually all out of white gesso, and I've been on this black gesso kick. I never used to use black gesso. I've been really into it lately, so I think what I'm going to do is for another video I'm going to do a gesso lesson, and then we're going to talk about how to properly, you know, prime your piece, what is, you know, realistic, what's not realistic, and we're going to talk about I guess the density that you want it to be, how tight you want it to be. Like some people really like a drum tightness to their canvas when they're painting, and some people like a little bit more give. And we can talk about some tips and tricks that I've picked up to kind of, you know, save yourself some money and also, you know, just be less wasteful. So that's kind of all I have right now. But thanks for watching, and I hope you guys learned something, because you want to be smart and learn about art, I'm the gal I come to. Okay, anyway, thanks so much, and have a good night, everybody. Bye.